Imagine you made it. Biggest stage, lights hot, crowd screaming. But in R&B, the mic doesn't care who you are. If the vocal sounds too perfect, people call it a track. If it cracks, they call you exposed. Tonight is about the careers where that question never left. Starting in the 80s, starting with an 80s legend. At number 10, Janet Jackson. She defined an era. Control, Rhythm Nation, Janet. Precision choreography that changed what pop performance looked like. Stadium-level dominance. Every show was a production designed to perfection. But perfection raised suspicions. The Rhythm Nation World Tour was dogged by accusations of lip-syncing. In 1990, mainstream press coverage explicitly raised the "are they really singing?" question. And Janet was named in that wider conversation. Critics argued the choreography was too relentless for the vocals to sound that pristine. The authenticity debate followed the tour from city to city. Then Elton John said it publicly. In a Rolling Stone interview, he called out lip-syncing in the industry and named Janet directly. When a legend of that stature makes the accusation on the record, the conversation shifts permanently. Janet's defenders pointed to the athletic demands of her shows. Make all my wishes come true. The dancing required everything, but the live vocal authenticity controversy never fully went away. Every tour brought the same questions. Every televised performance got analyzed. When your standard is flawless, any question about what's live and what's track follows you through every era of your career. Next up, at number 9, Milli Vanilli. By 1989, Milli Vanilli was everywhere. Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan had the image, the hits, the hype. Girl You Know It's True dominated the radio. Blame It on the Rain followed. They won the Grammy for Best New Artist. The overnight success story seemed complete. Then, the cracks started showing on stage. During a Club MTV performance, the backing track malfunctioned. I love you. The line, "Girl, you know it's," repeated over and over on a loop. The track exposed what couldn't be hidden. The moment became part of scandal history. The on-stage cracks showed in 1989. The full confession hit in 1990. Producer Frank Farian admitted publicly that Rob and Fab never sang on any of their records. Not one track, not one hook. The voices belonged to session singers who stayed anonymous while the faces got famous. The Recording Academy revoked their Grammy. I'm just in love, girl. And this is true. First time that ever happened in the institution's history. The career collapsed overnight. Rob struggled for years with the fallout. He passed away in 1998. When the scandal is the legacy, there's no recovering the reputation. If that's the most extreme version, the next names are where the questions played out in public, not behind studio doors. Number 8, Keith Sweat. He helped architect New Jack Swing. I Want Her became a defining track of 1987. Make It Last Forever followed. The smooth delivery and emotional vocals shaped a sound that influenced the late 80s and early 90s. The radio loved him. The album sold. But live performance became a different conversation. Pop Matters put it bluntly. He isn't the greatest singer live. I know that this is it. That assessment captured what critics observed across his career. The studio magic that made the records feel intimate and powerful didn't always translate when the red light went on and the audience was watching. The gap between studio Keith Sweat and live Keith Sweat became part of how critics evaluated his performances. The records still sound pristine. The legacy still stands, but the live reputation never matched the studio catalog. Sometimes it's not a scandal. Sometimes critics just decide the voice hits different on stage than it does on the album. That gap followed him through decades of touring and television appearances. The conversation never fully went away. And at number 7, Jennifer Lopez.
Let me introduce you to my party people.
J-Lo became one of the biggest pop and R&B crossover superstars of her generation. I'm Real and Love Don't Cost a Thing dominated charts. Jenny from the Block became a cultural moment. She successfully crossed from film to music at the highest level. The stardom was undeniable. But credited versus voice controversies became part of her reputation. Christina Milian discussed publicly that her background vocals appear on Play and that she wasn't credited as a featured performer. Fans treated the statement as evidence of a larger pattern. The conversation about who was actually singing on J-Lo records gained traction. The Ashanti connection added fuel. Ja Rule stated that Ashanti's reference vocal was used on tracks and that producer Irv Gotti left some of it in the final mix. The claim came from a named source in major outlet coverage.
Morocco, London to Ibiza, straight to LA, New York.
The I'm Real remix, the track that defined that era, became the center of the debate. Jennifer and her team maintained any demo work followed standard industry practice. But the questions never stopped circulating. When the controversy is who's really on the record, every hit gets questioned. Next up, Diana Ross, a legend. The Supremes defined an era, then solo stardom followed. I'm Coming Out, Endless Love. A catalog that spans decades and genres. The icon status is permanent and earned through years of dominance. But late career live performances sparked a different conversation. Glastonbury 2022 drew mixed reviews. Critics noted off-key moments and pitch issues throughout the set.
Every breath I take, and each and every step I make.
The legend's slot at a major festival should be a coronation. Instead, reviewers questioned whether the voice that defined an era could still deliver at that level. The coverage acknowledged the crowd still loved the moment, but the vocal critiques were documented. The iconic career isn't in question. Nobody disputes the legacy built across decades. But late career live critiques reshape the narrative in real time. Online audiences judge the current performance, not the catalog from 40 years ago. When the question becomes, can she still deliver like she used to?
My love is strong, you see, I know you'll never get tired of me.
Every new appearance becomes evidence for one side or the other. The legend status doesn't protect you from the live mic. The present always gets compared to the past. Quick pause. If you're still here, you already know this list is hitting different. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, let's continue. Number 5, Rihanna.
Drive me a deserting. No time to have you lurking.
Rihanna became a global hit machine. Umbrella, We Found Love, Diamonds, Work, stadium tours, fashion empire, cultural dominance that extended far beyond music. The voice on the records is undeniable, but the live presentation became a subject of debate.
What can I say? Please recognize I'm trying, baby.
KQED's coverage of the Anti-World Tour discussed lip-syncing as part of the modern concert reality, with Rihanna's show as a reference point. The review notes that lip-syncing is part of how the show operates. Fans cited the coverage as documentation that the performances leaned on tracks. The discussion spread online. Other concert reviews pointed to inconsistency across tour stops. Some nights, the vocals connected. Other nights, the tracks carried more weight. The conversation about what was fully live followed the tour.
Drive me a desert. time to have you learn.
Critics acknowledged she can sound great when she chooses to sing live. The voice is there, the consistency varied. That, when she chooses framing, is what fuels the debate. Fans can accept an off night. The perception that an artist is deciding when to actually perform and when to let the track work becomes part of the narrative. Sliding in at number 4, Omarion.
Fussing and fighting, we back at it again. I know that.
Omarion rose from B2K teen stardom to solo career. Oh, and Icebox established him as a hitmaker in his own right. The image was polished. The choreography was sharp. The performance-heavy identity defined his brand from the beginning. Then, Versus happened, and it became a different kind of evaluation. The 2022 battle with Mario became the most talked about moment of that Versus era.
Cold, I'm so cold. I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold.
Major recaps framed it the same way. Mario won on vocals while Omarion leaned on choreography and performance. Write Up after Write Up drew the same contrast. In that format, vocals were the scoreboard, and the coverage said he lost that night. Fans treated the event like a live singing referendum. The format was literally a sing-off. 2 catalogs, 2 microphones. The expectation was vocals first. When the structure demands you stand there and deliver, dancing reads differently.
I don't wanna be stuck off in this cold, cold world.
The conversation didn't end that night. The Versus became the clip fans reference whenever Omarion's live vocals come up. In a sing-off format, the contrast becomes the story. And we're finally in the top 3. Chris Brown.
Fucking Robitussin. I don't know how this shit got.
Chris Brown entered the industry with MJ comparisons, elite performer, precision choreography, vocal runs that sounded effortless on records. The expectation was the complete package. The bar was set high from the start. But public lip-sync accusations followed him to the biggest stages. The 2012 Billboard Music Awards performance triggered immediate debate.
I can make it hurricane on it.
Pink and Joe Jonas publicly questioned whether the performance was live. The lip-sync conversation erupted around the televised set. Social media amplified the accusations. 3 years later, the same accusation surfaced internationally. Local coverage from his 2015 Johannesburg show reported fans angry over perceived lip-syncing. They paid for a concert. They felt they got something else.
Bring it over to my place.
The pattern of accusations repeated beyond one American television night. At his level, audiences expect both. They want the performance and the live vocals together. When the accusations happen repeatedly across different stages and continents, the questions become part of the conversation around every major appearance. Next up, our runner-up, Jeremy.
It's your birthday, so I know you want to ride out.
Jeremy built a catalog of smooth R&B hits. Birthday Sex, Don't Tell 'Em, We, features everywhere. The voice fit any track. Radio-friendly delivery that producers loved. The studio reputation was solid. Then came a televised moment that sparked viral backlash. His 2019 Soul Train Awards performance of On Chill drew immediate online reaction.
Birthday sex, birthday sex.
The vocal delivery didn't match what fans expected from the studio version. The backlash spread across social media. The clip became a reference point in worst live singers conversations. That footage gets recycled whenever the debate trends online. It's televised. It's searchable. It's the kind of clean, undeniable moment that becomes permanent evidence in the court of public opinion. Jeremy's studio work still gets praised. The features still get called. Producers still want that voice on their tracks, but the viral backlash from that night attached itself to his live reputation. In R&B, one televised moment that goes viral becomes part of the conversation forever. The internet archives everything. And last but not least, our number one, Ray J.
Don't stop, get it,
with that booty on me. Shorty, you a dime.
Ray J became a household name across music and reality television. One Wish was a legitimate hit. Peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. The song had staying power. The personality made him famous beyond the music. The voice was supposed to back it all up. Then Verzuz put the live vocals on display. People, XXL, and Revolt all covered the viewer reaction.
Oh, buy another round and it's all on me. As long as I'm around, put it down.
The coverage documented fans clowning his One Wish performance as off-key and rough. The moment went viral. The song that should have been his showcase became fodder for jokes instead. Once you become a meme for vocals, every live mic moment gets prejudged. The audience arrives expecting the miss. The anticipation of something going wrong becomes part of the show. Ray J's career extends far beyond music now. Reality television, business ventures. The brand is bigger than any single song, but the vocal moment from that night follows him whenever singing comes up. That's the pattern.
With that booty on me. Shorty, you a dime while you looking lonely.
When the audience is waiting for the miss more than the music, the expectation shapes the reaction before you even start. This list isn't about studio records, it's about public mic moments, documented controversies, lip sync accusations, credited versus voice debates that followed careers for years. Who's missing from this list? Who's actually underrated live? Drop it in the comments. Like and subscribe if you made it this far. And click the next video to see what really happened to every 1980s R&B artist who hit number 1. See you there. Tips, Billboard.com, Music News, Elton John, Janet Jackson lip syncing, Rolling Stone interview, 6890336, BKHOTPS, PopMatters.com, Keith Sweat's Sweat Hotel Live, 249623838. H.E.M.L. Sweat just never struck me as someone who was capable of bringing the goods live. This sort of is www.youtube.com or to watch. VRKKF